Hey, what's up guys? Your second favorite PE teacher, Denver, and this is how you will win almost every single fight. If you haven't noticed, players are getting better and better at Fortnite, and it's hard to keep up, but I promise by the end of this video, you will win more fights and more games. By the way, we don't clickbait around here, so get ready to become a master. Click like, click subscribe right now, and even click that little bell before you tell me in the comments who your favorite player to watch right now is. And if you want to see any of this action live, and you can ask me tons of questions, maybe about like what it's like to be a PE teacher and have all my students know that I have a YouTube channel. It's actually pretty cool. So anyways, go follow my Twitch at twitch.tv/thatdenverguy when you're done watching this awesome video. Be sure to watch to the end because there is a hidden giveaway that ProGuides.com and I are doing in this video. All right, let's get started on how to win every fight. So first, know right now that most fights are won or lost before it even gets started. In fact, you want to try to do everything you can to win a fight before it gets started because Fortnite isn't about just winning fights. It's about surviving every fight with enough health and enough shield until the next fight. Check out these ways to make sure you take as little damage as possible while getting a kill. The first thing you want to do is always try to plink as many save AR shots as you can before you ever even get into close range. You might be carrying a sniper around, but even me, who most of you guys know, I love sniping, I haven't even been carrying a sniper around because there are so many better options to fill your loadout. A good aim with an AR and even 2 headshots can sometimes do just as much as a sniper. Plus, you don't waste time reloading because we know the reload time on snipers is crazy long. You can even be moving quite a bit when you're shooting with an AR, and most importantly, you don't expose yourself for long periods of time, so you are less likely to get sniped at yourself. Even with the basic AR, something like 3 body shots landed can knock off an entire 100 shield. So once I realized that, I started using that AR as much as I could. An insanely good player that I play with, his name is Crazy Goat. He's on Twitch. He mastered this powerful trick and he uses it in every situation he can because if you can half somebody's total health before you even get into close range, a well-placed shotgun shot can drop somebody in one tap. So is there some kind of strategy that you can do besides just standing around and shooting your AR? Of course there is. This game gives a lot of bloom on these ARs. You guys know that. A lot of the shots that should be hitting are actually missing. But hear me on this. This can be a blessing and a curse. And it took me so long to realize that this can actually work for good for you. So many times I've actually missed shots completely only to watch the bullet sail and hit the enemy in the head. First shot accuracy is always a blessing though, because at least that very first shot you shoot will land where you are aiming. So why does this bloom actually sometimes help us? Because the best thing about AR chip shots is that we can be somewhat mobile while we are doing it. So many people still make the mistake of standing while they are shooting, but here's what you can do with an AR now to find the most success and land those shots while also avoiding getting shot. The first thing I learned the hard way is to never sit and trade shots with somebody who is ARing at you. Don't do it. Even if you start off with like a headshot or two and you think for sure they're going to die, you might take way too much shield damage, way too much damage to your health. Yeah, sure, you won the fight, but again, how much health and shield do you have for the next fight or that person that's building right over the top of you right now? So what you want to do is get very good at what I call crouch peeking. And this isn't what that exploit that I showed you guys a while back that Tfue used to do and he made real popular where you could like peek up without being seen. Now this might seem like a super simple move. You're just crouching and then standing, but you're moving the whole time. You don't ever want to stay in one place. So you're strafing left and right, forward and back, crouching and standing. It seems really simple, like I said, but you're pressing a lot more buttons than you think. But at the same time, you're trying to keep your crosshair on your target. So definitely practice this one as you go. Playground is a good one. Shoot some bushes, shoot some walls, just pick some targets and hit that strafe forward and back, all while keeping your target on lock. One more trick to landing AR shots without getting hit yourself. I'm almost afraid to show this one to you guys because it is so powerful, but get fast at editing a hole in the wall. Get a few shots off. Maybe you've seen some pros do this, but really all you can do, like I just usually rotate my ramp. I pop a hole in the wall, get like 1 or 2 shots off. Sometimes I'll even throw a hole in the wall and then look up over the wall. They're aimed at the hole in the wall. I've got time to get up there and pop 1, maybe 2. Again, if you can land 2 shots, at least a headshot or 2, that's usually like 100 shield or health. But especially keep your enemy guessing where you will be instead of always popping your head out at the same spot. I know that seems simple. We're about to get a lot more advanced. I just thought for you beginners here, and maybe some people just needed to be reminded on that. So anyways, let's get into something a little more advanced. Now, if you did it right, your enemy's a lot weaker. You can make the next best choice, which might be to push on them. And if you know you got them low, then definitely start pushing on them. Minis can get popped quickly, and you don't want to give your opponent even 5 seconds to get 50 shield back if you did all that work getting them low. Make sure the coast is clear before you decide to push, and make sure that you are already thinking of plans of what if he pops his head out and shoots you on the way over? What if he decides to build up his 1x1 even higher now? What if he just drops down to the ground and starts barricading himself in with a cone on top? All of these possibilities can and will happen, so be prepared for any situation. Here is the best part though. You might have 200 total health and shield, and he might have half that. The best part is you have an advantage no matter what your enemy does. They are the one that has to be afraid and defend. You are there to finish out the kill. Here is what you do not want to do. Close the gap, drop on them, and get into a shotgun battle right away. Yes, you might be able to one-tap them and be done with it, but you guys know these shotguns, they are as inconsistent as can be. Keep that high ground. Say it with me. Keep the high ground. Always be at least one build level higher, and sometimes one level higher is all you want to be. You want to be as close as you can so that you can react and land damage the moment they try to make a move. So let's say they build higher, you build higher too. And if you have to get into a close range battle out of that, at least you have the advantage and should still win. So let's say they do the other option of shooting at you on your way over. This is actually probably the best idea for them because at least for part of the time, you'll be exposed on your way over to them. Most of the time I'm pushing like this, I have my build button ready. You'll see some pros run with their gun out, but again, you're not trying to trade AR shots. You're just trying to cover yourself, close the gap, and get some easy, free shots on them without taking any damage. Again, that's the goal. You don't want to take any damage at all. So I rarely take a shot unless I know they're really, really bad. Then I might try to take one shot, stairs, one shot, stairs until I can close the gap. And sometimes you do need that double protection where you want to throw a wall and stairs and just hold it until they have to reload. And now that they are reloading, they're too panicked to get some shields off, and all they have left for you to worry about, for a while at least, is a shotgun. Okay, maybe explosives too, but we'll play this with just a shotgun. So this is where building comes in. In any fight, a good builder can avoid all damage and control the fight. A little trick I picked up and never not use now is putting a flat piece down before I ramp. Maybe you're like me, you mess up your building a lot when trying to do even simple movements sometimes. So putting that flat piece down before you build some ramps will solve a lot of those problems for you. So definitely get into playground. Practice this while you're practicing all these other tips. So here's the thing about building though. There is no point in building if you don't have a purpose for every piece that you put. Try to think about each piece you're building and what the point of that piece is. Doing this will save you a ton of materials and it'll start you on your main goal, which is to track your opponent. I used to take so much damage when I would be building like crazy and thought I'd just outbuild them and throw tons of walls and ramps down and get higher than them and then fight. No, every single piece you place has to have a purpose, and if you're already over your enemy, stop building right then and there and find an opening to shoot. Sometimes you don't even need to be over your enemy when you can get a clear shot without taking any damage. So many times when you're ramping to engage on an enemy and they ramp onto you and your ramps go side by side, you're coming at each other. Oftentimes you can just look to your left or right and hit a big shotgun shot. When they get up to your ramp height and they're facing you, they're trying to build, you're trying to shoot, you get that initial damage. But instead, you might be doing what I used to do, which is just spamming pieces down and basically just panicking, hoping that they don't see you. So until they fix the sound in this game, which should be coming up pretty soon, you are relying on sight and game knowledge of where your enemy can be, and maybe even a tiny bit of left and right hearing for tracking your enemy. Do not overcomplicate this like I do. For some reason, it's like I felt I was playing against magicians in every fight I got into, and it seemed like they would just disappear and I'd lose them, and that was it until they shot at me again. When you see them and know where they are building, you know what their next moves might be. We all sprint the same speed, and if you have a general idea of where your opponent is and lose them, they'll be close to the spot you just saw them at. I know that sounds super simple, but just do not panic when you don't see them anymore and start jumping and building around, hoping you can get an eye on them somewhere in your massive structure you just built together. If you think they are in a box, give it a few shots. See if they fix the wall or the roof. Use those SMGs, use those ARs to get them moving, and don't give them the chance to shield up or heal. Get that pressure on and get it quick, because as you guys know, Third partying in this game is crazy, and every shot you're firing might be heard from another direction. You found the super secret 2000 V-Buck giveaway, so listen to this real quick on how to enter. And of course, this is put on by the great ProGuides.com, who helped me make this video and helps tons of players get better at Fortnite every day. I get asked so many times in streams, YouTube comments, how to get better at anything to do with Fortnite, and I love reading your guys' comments, but of course, I don't have time always to answer and get back to you guys, so I tell people, go check out ProGuides.com to learn almost anything about Fortnite, and in this case, how to enter the giveaway. So go subscribe to ProGuides.com YouTube channel in the description of this video, and of course, remember to like and subscribe to me. Leave a comment letting me know you entered the 2000 V-Buck giveaway. All right, the last thing we're going to talk about today is what to do after you win a fight, because I know the feeling of thinking, okay, now what? Obviously, the circle will dictate where you need to move next, but please do not make the mistake my friends and I do and shuffle around the loot on the ground the whole time. You pick up a green SMG instead of a white one, because the entire time you're on the ground, you're picking, you're choosing, and most likely have someone who saw or heard you and they're on their way. Kill somebody and then immediately start popping shields, reloading your weapons, stay up high while you do this. Once you know it's safe and aren't getting third-partied, then drop down and gather up the loot you need for the next fight. The difference between a gold scar and a purple scar is tiny, a blue pump and a green one. If you won this last fight with your loadout, you can do it again if somebody third parties you. Just do not dive down to the ground and shop for new loot until you know it's safe. Or of course, if you really need the healing and the shield. For the circle, I always try to stay on the outside of it as opposed to the middle and try to catch people being forced in from the storm. When somebody has to come towards you, you have an advantage. Other than that, it's usually just a matter of playing it super safe and not fighting. Now, obviously, if you guys want to go aggressive, do it. But if you want wins, usually not fighting, sadly, is the better option. Or something I always do, I get a good view of who I think is the best player left, and I help the other players kill him. Maybe it's an AR shot. Maybe I can land a snipe. Maybe I can knock him down from above. But usually the best player, I want a third party and jump on them and help somebody else take them down so I don't have to do it myself. Yeah, it's kind of dirty, but hey, why make things harder for me than it needs to be? So you guys know the drill. Like and subscribe if you didn't already. And of course, that little bell for any brand new Fortnite videos coming from me. So thank you guys for watching. Go check out my Twitch TV /ThatDenverGuy. Go follow. We'll have some streams coming up soon. If maybe they've started already. Maybe I'm live right now and you guys can go check me out. So see you guys in the next video or stream.